Alright, what is going on, guys? It is your boy TKD123 here, back here on PlayStation Source, and of course, as Horizon Forbidden West does come closer to release, we of course will be covering more of this game, and we did get a Horizon Forbidden West story trailer that we will be breaking down here on this video. Now, there is a lot to cover in this video. I'm not sure how long this is going to be, I'm not sure what it's going to look like in the end, but there is a lot here to cover, and I found a lot of things, and also, no cap, it took a while. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like on the video, as well as stay subscribed to PlayStation Source to keep up with the latest and greatest in PlayStation. And if you can't get enough of Horizon, of course, we do have, of course, Road to Forbidden West, the weekly Horizon podcast dedicated to any and all things Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West on podcast services and this very channel on YouTube every single Sunday. Definitely get hyped for that. We have 2 episodes in the can about how much the game means to my co-host Joe, Mr. Babbitt Moran, and of course, as well, multiplayer, the aspect of could there be multiplayer in Horizon in the future. We go over those things and definitely get prepped for episode 3 this Sunday. Now, I think first I'll start off with just showing you guys the raw trailer, and I'll put a timestamp down below if you want to skip to the breakdown if you've already seen the trailer, but for those that have not seen it, I'll play it here unabated, unedited. Here we go.
I'm running out of time, Elizabeth. The land is dying. People are suffering. Soon, they'll starve. And the machines meant to help us are out of control. I have to find a way to fix it all. And the answer is somewhere out in the Forbidden West.
War is the rule. Peace, the exception. The rebel leader, Regala, seeks to slaughter all those who've wronged her. She will kill anyone who gets in her way. They say she answers to a higher power. He supplied her with troops, weapons, even the ability to control machines. Machines of war.
Whatever secrets he has, he's keeping to himself. And the solution I need is broken and scattered. Everywhere I look, things are falling apart. I don't know if I can find a way forward. Like Elizabeth did.
All by yourself? Ha! No way.
I'll be careful and...
We're coming with you.
We will find the answers. But beware. We're not the only ones who seek them.
First up here, we have, of course, Aloy talking to herself and also kind of like referring to Elizabeth, who, of course, Elizabeth is kind of her mom. It's kind of hard to explain, but essentially, she is a genetic clone, if you will, of Elizabeth Sobek from back in the day. Y'all know the story from Horizon Zero Dawn. If you don't, definitely go play that game. But she's essentially talking to her mother, we can say that, right? So she's talking about how she's running out of time and that the land is dying, people are suffering, soon they'll starve, etc. The machine machines that were meant to help humanity are out of control, and she has to find a way to fix it all. And she deduces that the answer to all of those questions and to all of these problems lies out there in the Forbidden West. And so in the trailer, we see a lot of the red blight that is breaking down and destroying the biosphere, right? Now, what I thought of is that could this be Gaia trying to restart the world, right? In terms of restarting the biosphere, because if you guys didn't know, there was this audio log that is in the original game that talks about the true nature of Hades and how it was a failsafe in case Gaia messed up its terraforming a new reality and a new world. Let's go check out this clip here from the original game.
Welcome to Hades.
Oh, yeah, what is this?
Dawn's Extinction Failsafe Protocol. The ultimate killer app. Now, I know what you're thinking. The purpose of Gaia is to resurrect life. So why give her a subordinate function, only purpose of which is to wipe out life all over again? I mean, what? Just plumb crazy, ain't it? Well, no, it isn't. Reconstituting a biosphere? That's a tall order. Tech smart as Gaia may be, odds are she won't get it right the first time. I mean, imagine you're Gaia 200 years from now and this new biosphere growing, it's all gone wrong. Alkalines are skyrocketing, coniferous forests eroding under the lash of superstorms that would have drowned Noah. It's chaos, a spinning top that won't stop wobbling. Now what are you gonna do? Release phase 1 organisms into that hot mess? Hope their CO2 and methane can balance out what you got started? Hell no. What you're gonna do, Gaia, is step aside while Hades takes over and does what you're just too darn nurturing and life-loving to do, which is burn that misbegotten mess of a biosphere to the ground so Gaia can start over. Okay, not burn, more like reverse terraforming operations and suffocate it. But you get the idea.
Oh.
Hades takes the biosphere back to zero. Square one, blank slate. And then, only then, does it hand the steering wheel back to Gaia and say, try again, old girl. And better this time, or we'll have to do this again. That's Hades. It's pretty badass when you think about it. Extinction on demand. Death on speed dial. All for the greater good, of course, but still, kind of metal. So
Oh my
welcome
God.
to Hades. Welcome to the void.
Okay, so if that's the original purpose of Hades, why does it want me extinct?
We need more data.
And how does it end up in the wreckage of a Pharaoh Titan, getting worshipped by the Eclipse like some kind of god?
I'm learning as you are, Aloy. Keep searching.
So in essence, right, what I'm trying to say here is that could the extreme weather that we're seeing in Horizon Forbidden West, right, the crazy tornadoes, the crazy storms, the crazy flooding, right, could that have been caused by Gaia not properly making a new biosphere, right? And then the red blight that we see is Hades, which is trying to reset the biosphere like we heard in that little clip, where it is using, quote, reverse terraforming operations and essentially suffocating the biosphere so that all life can be extinct again, and then it can reset with Gaia and the Hades protocol. Could that be what is happening here in the Forbidden West and what's starting in the Forbidden West? Could this have been assisted by Silence, since Silence did capture a bit of Hades in the end of the original game? We'll have to see when the full game comes out. Now, even though we knew this, I do feel like it's important to stop here at this first robot here that is going to be under the control of what I believe to be Regala and her rebels that were given the ability to override these machines to bend to their will from our boy Silence. And so the only thing that I will note here, and we'll double back on this later on in the breakdown, is that you can see here that yes, this machine's, eye light is red, which does mean that it is some sort of under menacing control, right? But in the original game, there used to be the red tendrils that would cover the corrupted machines that were corrupted by Hades and that protocol. But it seems that even though they are in control from someone evil, they're not in control of Hades, given that there's no red tendrils around the body. We will get to that later on, because there is a fascinating, like, you know, transition of one of these machines that really shows what I'm talking about here. We then see our boy Varl and our girl Aloy here overlooking this abandoned, dilapidated, like NASA space like launch site or something like that. Now, I can't even lie, I first thought that this was a homage to Rocket Town. Maybe it is, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe those at Guerrilla Games want to do a little Rocket Town Final Fantasy VII inspiration. You'd love to see that. But I do want to point out that there are 3 Slither Fangs towards the bottom of the launch site that are fighting over some cylindrical like metal device that I'll bring up later, that I think that this might be seen later on more close up, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But just keep that in mind, that there are these 3 Slither Fangs that are fighting over this weird object on the base of this launch base. Next up, we get these shots that we have seen before of these big metal devils that were also called Horus chassis, which were the pharaoh names for those machines when they were making them. Of course, if you didn't know the backstory of Horizon Zero Dawn, these machines are essentially what ended civilization years ago during the whole pharaoh incident, where these metal devils began to kind of go corrupt, and they started to just replicate, and they started killing people, and then they essentially wiped out humanity, right? So these are the primary, like, you know, machines that were responsible for that in a way. But we see here in this first image of one of the Horus chassis, aka the metal devils, that there seems to be people living amongst this wreckage of a metal devil, where we see bridges and enclosed spaces made of wood and stuff like that. So pretty interesting there. But we also see a metal devil that is abandoned in a desert, which is interesting because when you look at the Horizon Zero Dawn wiki, we have this segment here involving the metal devils, aka the Horus chassis. Of the 4 known Horus chassis, 1 is in the southern part of Norse tribe Sacred Land, 1 lies in the southernmost edge of Banuk territory, 1 is in the Karja Sun Dome deep in the jungles of the Jewel, and 1 is in an unknown desert, lying as derelicts exposed to the elements in their locations. That is really interesting. Could this second image here be the abandoned Horus machine, aka Metal Devil, that was in the desert that they, reference in Horizon Zero Dawn? I bet it is. I bet it is. Next, we meet one of the protagonists in the game here named Kotalo, which he is describing the current state of his tribe, the Tenakth tribe, which is broken up into 3 clans under the Takath tribe that has been at war with each other for decades, right? And what's great is that Guerrilla Games put out the Meet the Cast trailer that does shine a little more light and give more context to this character, because he is in a very interesting place in the game, where we see later on in the trailer his chief Hikaru has a vision to rally all of the warring clans together that's a part of the Tenakth tribe and bring them all together in peace and come as one, instead of continuing this war that they've been fighting for decades and decades. So although he talks about war is the only way in the Forbidden West, peace is hard to come by, he is on a journey to try and make sure that the vision that his chief has, Hikaru, that his vision manifests into reality in terms of bringing back the Tenakth tribe as one, instead of these 3 warring factions and these 3 warring clans. We get another look at this shot here from previous trailers of Tremor Tusk that have been taken over by the Regala clan, which is also the same clan that I believe Aloy fought in the gameplay trailer as well, for the State of Play gameplay scene that we got a few months back. And then we see Regala herself, the leader of the rebels of the Tenakth tribe, and on top of that, she's also played by Angela Bassett. Really cool casting. You love to see Angela Bassett. 10 out of 10 casting. You love to see her, okay? So Kotalo goes on to explain that, Regala and her rebels are very, very, very dangerous, very aggressive. She'll kill anyone that gets in her way, and she also answers to a higher power, right? Which is very intriguing to me, because, we've seen tribes tribes in Horizon pray to the sun, like the Karja and different stuff like that, right? But maybe her higher power is much more cynical, right? I'm thinking like maybe it's death itself, right? Like maybe if you couple, you know, this theory about Regala and her belief system, right? And you couple that with what we'll talk about later on in the video, where I do believe that Silence is the one that is helping Regala and the rebels learn to override machines in their pursuit of death and slaughter, and, you know, just to have the upper hand on the other tribes with the assistance of these overrated machines, right? Maybe, you know, hear me out for a sec, right? Maybe she has been manipulated by Silence or someone else to believe that maybe this version of Earth that Gaia set in motion is incorrect, right? Like maybe somehow she knows that these storms and these supercells and all this crazy weather is happening to them because Gaia created the Earth wrong when she was restarting humanity and restarting life itself on Earth. So maybe she accepts that, right? Like maybe she accepts that and wants to just have everyone perish so that Gaia can start over. Like that's my theory. I'm not sure if that's actually gonna stick. We'll see, but you know, let's just move on from that. So this is our first glimpse at this scene with this like giant red like glowing hole there, right? And we see in a few other instances that a Slitherfang is supposed to come out of this pit, right? So now I'm thinking that, okay, is Aloy taken here to investigate something where perhaps the Regala rebels are trying to override the Slitherfang, and maybe they are successful, given that when we see the Slitherfang in other parts of the trailer, its lights are definitely glowing red, and they're definitely in some sort of like attack mode. So maybe they were successful in that, or maybe they weren't successful, and the Slitherfang is just trying to get these people to stop from overriding the Slitherfang itself. I'm not sure what that is, but definitely we see a lot of different, you know, scenes from this section where it is definitely some sort of really cool Slitherfang boss fight that will happen here in this part of the game. And so Kotala does mention that he, you know, in quotes being Silence, he supplied her with her, which, you know, her I believe is Regala, right? So essentially Silence supplied Regala with troops and weapons and even the ability to control machines of war, right? So that's what I think we will focus on with these later screenshots that we have here up on the screen right now, where we do see what seems to be a mounted version of the disc launcher from the original game. That is wild, because the disc launcher is such an incredible weapon that you can get off of the machines in that game. Like, that weapon is OP as hell. So to see our enemies have access to that technology is very scary nonetheless. But then we see, you know, of course, scenes that we've seen before where Silence seems to be overlooking these rebels that are, you know, taking over these machines and learning how to override them and stuff like that. But what we see here as well is we see this interesting scene where there's a tremor tusk. It looks like it has the red veins from when you would see a corrupted machine in Horizon Zero Dawn, right? And then when it goes to, you know, from a blue friendly light to a yellow more unfriendly, you know, light, like maybe it's a process of going from blue, yellow to red, right? We see that transformation happening. So it looks like this is a tremor tusk that is being overridden as we speak by the rebels. But then when we go back to the original photo, we don't see those red veins. So my theory here is that perhaps Silence has taken some of the techniques and the technology that Hades used to create the corrupted machines and maybe tweaked it to where its technique doesn't have those red veins, but it doesn't mean that it has to be controlled by Hades itself. Like maybe it could be controlled by Silence himself or by Regala or whoever they can dictate it to be controlled by. Like maybe these machines are just controllable and they don't necessarily have to be controlled by Hades, the AI itself. So last thing I'll say in this section, right, is that I believe Silence and Regala have some sort of partnership and they're working together in some way, right? But just what does Silence get out of it, okay? So Silence has given Regala and her rebel troops weapons, more men to fight against the Tenakth tribe that Regala hates, on top of the ability to override machines. Like, it seems like Silence is giving a lot to her, but I wonder what Silence is getting in return, because of course, as we know in the original game, Silence really has no allegiance to anyone. He's out for himself, and he will side with any team as long as it reaps benefits for him in the long run and in the end. So I'm very interested to see what's up with Silence and what is his whole thing up with in this game and what is he doing here. Next we see ancient doors with a similar pattern and build from Horizon Zero Dawn, just with yellow paint on it, which is interesting as well. But Aloy says that, you know, again, he, which I believe is Silence, right? Silence seems to be keeping secrets from her. Those may be behind this very door, like these may be the secrets that are behind there that she is talking about, or we also have 3 people accompanying her down in this whole vault section, right? So considering that they have lights around this environment, this must mean that they access this door pretty frequently. Maybe they live behind there. Maybe they have learned to access these vaults without using Elizabeth Sobek's DNA, aka Aloy herself. And one thing to also keep in mind, that the lady on the left, we do see her later on in the trailer as well. We will get to her very, very, very shortly. Now we see Aloy powering up this like machine and fails to power it up. Not sure what that's all about, honestly. But then later on in the very next scene, we see Aloy interacting with this underwater mechanism, some sort of like console that she enables. Then water starts to move underground. Maybe like she enabled a propeller or something like that underground that is pushing air on top and like pushing cars to the surface of this underwater scene. And it looks like there's an escalator in this scene. There's like a building and there's a car, but then there's also these like colorful holographic things that definitely remind me of the Las Vegas scene we got in the trailer for this game a few months and at this point years back. So maybe this is taking place under Las Vegas, right? And then maybe the severe weather that the Forbidden West is undergoing right now due to unforeseen things that we don't know of yet. But what I propose to be, maybe it is because Gaia didn't create the world correctly the first time she did it and stuff like that. Maybe this is a flooded part of Vegas, right? Because it has been said that, you know, there are canyons that are flooding in this region as well. So very interesting stuff to see in this whole thing, but we are definitely looking at some sort of building or something like that with cars and architecture and stairs, etc. Now we see this like metal apparatus that I wanted to really note with you guys, right? Is this what the 3 slither fangs were like trying to eat and get at in the beginning of the trailer? Like, is that what this is, right? Does this come crashing down? But then we have Aloy on there as well, so maybe it's not, maybe it's something different, maybe that's just totally unrelated. But nonetheless, we have this like weird, you know, metal dome type thing or like cylindrical egg type thing crashing down. Aloy's on it, and then we see Aloy jump off of it, right, and jump into the water below. However, Aloy's like glowing a red orange type of color. Not sure if this is like a lighting bug, not sure if this is like a reflection that is coming off of the sparks to the left of the canister that is just making weird like lighting effects on her skin or what. But she's like glowing red orange on her upper torso and like on her armor. Very interesting stuff right there. Not sure what that's all about, but I'm sure we will figure it out when we get the game. Next up here, of course, we get this underwater scene of her like, you know, just going through water, and then she gets washed up on shore, which this definitely reminded me of the reveal of Uncharted PS4 before Uncharted was even called Uncharted 4 at Thief's End on PlayStation 4. Very funny callback. I just couldn't unsee it, you know what I'm saying? I saw it and I was like, damn, that's definitely Uncharted. And then the way this trailer is cut, it looks like Aaron and Varl save Aloy from the whole mess that she was in where she got washed up on the beach. So glad to see our boys in the trailer. They're just quick montage clips of like them kicking ass and stuff like that and just, you know, doing their thing. But I do want to stop at this little landscape here with Aloy and Varl riding off in this like beautiful purple landscape with like a bunch of purple flowers. Looks beautiful. Looks very much like a Ghost of Tsushima type of looking environment. Love to see this. However, there is a Sungwing that just casually flies above them and doesn't attack. Granted, this could be a CG trailer, right? So, you know, there is that, right? But I'm hoping I'm hoping that this Sungwing is overridden and maybe the Sungwing can like patrol for us up ahead and see different things before we get to them. That could be cool. Or of course, maybe we can ride the Sungwing finally. Please, Gorilla, please. Now this next one confused me, okay? We have an older Varl here, or at least a Varl that has a beard, right? Like looking clean, my boy. How did he get that lineup? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. However, we do have a clip from the Meet the Cast trailer that Guerrilla Games put out where they are talking to Aaron's voice actor, and he passively, you know, says that Aloy up and left after the events of the original game for about 6 months. And so maybe this is how Varl looks after that 6-month period, and then maybe he shaves before leaving with her for the Forbidden West. Maybe this is after the events of the game. Maybe this is sometime during their trek into the Forbidden West. Not sure what this is about, but very interesting choice for him to have a beard randomly in this game. Given the view and the time of day and the way this inside setting looks during this part of the trailer, this could be taking place inside of the first image of the Metal Devil, where there were bridges on the Metal Devil and there was that like wooden like house type thing. This could be where we're at, but we do see this new mystery woman that is showing Aloy something on her focus. And so it seems to be some sort of map. Maybe it is, you know what, I'm looking at right now, there's a little thing that says like Caro and like a red emblem. This could be the map that Aaron shows Aloy after the State of Play gameplay trailer. I'm gonna check on it later on. If it's true, it's true. If it's not, my bad, I'm sorry. That's just me spinning off of the cuff here, just looking at it right now. Next scene here, we get a good look at this mystery woman, and there's this really interesting map behind her that's blurred out. I would love to see what that map's all about. What is she charting? Is she charting the Forbidden West? Is this the layout of the different tribes and stuff like that? Very intriguing map back there. However, her focus looks very different. Looks like a different type of focus that she has, and it's definitely a focus because she was projecting that map in the previous screenshot where Aloy and her are looking at this like holographic type thing. So there's no doubt that's definitely a focus, but it looks very weird. It has like a hand type of shape to it. Very interesting character. How'd she get that focus? What's up with that? Very intriguing. Going on to the last few seconds here of this trailer, we do have definite shots of a cauldron. You can tell by the triangle walls that are on the left hand side of the screen. Definitely this is a cauldron from the original game, and we see this like middle platform. Now once again guys, during my playthrough right now, I have not gone to a cauldron, so maybe this is how it looks in the original game. I'm sorry, my bad, but it looks to be constructing some sort of new machine by the looks of it, given that that's what cauldrons were made for in the Horizon world and everything. So interesting right there. But we also see like another shot, of course, of the cauldrons, definitely that we know with the like 3-lane tracks and the big metal pipes that have those tracks on them and stuff like that. Definitely a cauldron, right? But then we keep seeing this mysterious woman. Who is this? I'm gonna call her baby girl, you know what I'm saying, for obvious reasons. You know, shout out to her, shout out to baby girl. What's her story? What's up with her? Who is she? Who is she? I gotta know. I want to know, who is she? And then the last bit of this trailer is where we really get some good stuff here, okay? So we hear Gaia saying that, hey, Aloy, we will go search for answers. We will go seeking those answers. However, there are others that are also seeking answers as well, okay? Like there are other entities that are on our same track trying to find answers. So we get this beautiful shot of Gaia manifesting, right? And she looks like she's a part of the live stream. Final Fantasy 7, once again, another callback. Like, what's up with this? Guerrilla Games, Horizon Forbidden West. You got this live stream looking thing, of course, you know what I'm saying? We have Rocket Town references, like what's up with that, right? But when you connect this info, right, with Gaia saying that there's another tribe or there's other people that are seeking answers, same as Aloy, right? In the tribes trailer that Guerrilla Games put out, there is an allusion later on in that trailer that I'll play here just to let you guys hear it, but there is another mysterious tribe at play in the Forbidden West.
Yet as deadly as they are, there are rumors of an even stronger tribe. Strangers pass the shore, searching for secrets on the very edge of the West.
So like you just heard, this mystery tribe is much stronger than the Tenakth tribe and the Utaru tribe as well. They are strangers from past the shore who are also searching for secrets on the very edge of the Forbidden West. I believe this tribe is led or is, housing a member, this unnamed person here at the end of the trailer called Tilda. We know that is her name. She is played by Carrie Ann Moss, and in the Meet the Cast trailer, she does not specifically say anything really about her character other than that she's interesting. But what we can gather here from this shot of looking at Tilda, right? Her like clothing is very high tech. It seems to be like a porcelain, like metal type of texture and everything, and there seems to be like a purple glowing radiance around her as well. And then when you see behind her as well, there seems to be a table set with like tablecloths and everything. This is very advanced, okay? Like this is very, yes, there were like lodging houses in the original Horizon Zero Dawn game and everything, but like there weren't like fancy tablecloths set around the game at all, right? So my theory is that, okay, so there is so there is a mysterious tribe that we don't know about that was highlighted in the tribe's trailer, that they come from beyond the shore and they are mysterious as hell and they're powerful as hell, okay? Could this be people that have came from Europe, right? Because the fallout of the Faro robots and that whole debacle did not just take out the US, it took out humanity throughout the entire Earth. So there's a whole Earth to explore that is not just the US that we have focused on so far in Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West. Could Tilda have came from across the sea, from Europe, to figure out answers as to what the hell happened to the world? And the answers are in the Forbidden West, where Aloy is also searching. Very interesting stuff here, guys. What do you think about Tilda? What do you think about my breakdown? Was there something that I forgot in this breakdown? I know this was a very, very long video. If you stuck to the end of it, very, very, very appreciative. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like on the video, as well as subscribe to PlayStation Source to keep up with the latest and greatest in PlayStation. Down below, find links to our Discord, our Twitter, and of course our Anchor link that way you can listen to Road to Forbidden West, the weekly podcast dedicated to any and all things Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West, every single Sunday on YouTube and on podcast services like Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, etc. via that Anchor link down below in the description. Definitely go check it out, guys. Much appreciated for all support and love on Road to Forbidden West. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and as always, greatness awaits.